Nintendo Switch Online has a ton of Nintendo 64 games. However, there's a ton that need to be on it that are just blatantly not on the system, which is kind of a shame. The Nintendo 64 is one of my favorite consoles, as well as the Nintendo Switch, so why aren't these games on the Nintendo Switch Online? I'm not sure, but we're going to talk about it and let you know what games I think need to be on here that are from the Nintendo 64. So let's get ahead and get into that list. First off, we've got Mischief Makers, which is an absolutely awesome 2D platforming game, but for whatever reason, this game seems to be underrated and people just don't talk about it enough. Occasionally, I'll see someone leave a comment saying they absolutely love this game, but honestly, it's one of those that's just overlooked. I think this is an interesting game and definitely well worth picking up. It's not too expensive on that front, but it's one of those games I think people overlook just because it's not a AAA title from Nintendo. However, it's a great third-party game that you'll absolutely love if you've never played this on the Nintendo 64 before. Next, we have Star Wars Rogue Squadron, which is an absolutely amazing Star Wars game. If you've ever wanted to fly through the galaxy, this is one for you. It's an awesome game, and I know there's a few Star Wars games already on the Nintendo Switch or the Switch Online, but this is one that I think Nintendo should have added. It can't be more expensive than some of those other games that they added due to licensing. However, this is a ton of fun and one of those games that if you've played it, you absolutely know how much fun it is, but if you've never played it before, you're definitely missing out. This next game makes me wonder why Nintendo hasn't put this on the Switch Online, and that is Super Smash Bros. Absolutely amazing game, first game of the series. Everyone loves this game, but it's not on the Switch Online, which just doesn't make any sense to me. This is a ton of fun and should have been on the Switch Online when it first launched, probably. I don't know what Nintendo's thinking here, but they need to add this one and add it quickly. Up next, we've got an expensive horror game, and that is Resident Evil 2. Well, it's not that expensive, but it's more expensive than most normal Nintendo 64 games. So I think this is a great one to be on the list because honestly, the Switch Online doesn't have very many horror games, if any at all, to be honest with you. And I think this would be a perfect game. However, I do know that it is rated M, which might be the reason why they don't have it on there. But otherwise, there's no reason why Nintendo hasn't added this unless Capcom just doesn't want to let them put it on the Switch Online. But this would be absolutely amazing. With Halloween just passed, this would have been a perfect idea and opportunity, but for whatever reason, it's just not on the Switch. Then we've got a shooter that's absolutely awesome, and that is Perfect Dark. Now, don't get me wrong, I know GoldenEye 007 is already on the Switch Online, but I think Perfect Dark would be a great addition. It's such a fun game. It's a very well controlled and the gameplay and everything, so this is one that I think should be on there, but honestly, I'm guessing it's probably because it's a Rare game, which is why this isn't on the Switch Online. But, I mean, other games from Rare are on there, I believe. So, like, why not put this one on there as well? Next, we've got my favorite Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game, and that is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Now, yes, I know that they already made the remake and put it on the Switch, but if you've ever played that 1 and 2 remake on the Switch and then on another console, you know the Switch version is absolutely terrible. So I would love to see this be added to the Switch Online. It is an absolutely amazing game and is obviously my favorite Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game, which is why I picked it. But I think this is one that Nintendo should add because it would bring a lot of people to the Switch Online, I believe, and is obviously my favorite and would definitely be well worth picking up to play. I mean, like, seriously, just add it and I'd be playing it literally the day it released. I'd probably beat the game. Let's be real here. Moving on, we've got WWF No Mercy, and if there is any wrestling game on the Switch Online, it needs to be No Mercy. This is the best one. It controls the best. It plays the best. It's the most fun, in my opinion. It's definitely well worth it, and for whatever reason, there's not one, but when I think of the Nintendo 64, one of the first things that comes to mind is No Mercy and how many awesome wrestling games this console had. So why wouldn't they add this? Is it like a licensing issue or what? What are they thinking here? Then we've got Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. Now I would have taken 1, 2, or 3 from this series and put it on here. I just grabbed the first one because it was easier to get to. And honestly, this is an amazing game. It's, like I said, it's a dinosaur hunting game. What's not to like about that? I think this would be amazing on the Switch Online. Being able to take this on the go and play it would just be next level. This is an awesome game, and if you've never played it, you definitely should. And it's kind of one of those games that I don't see why it wouldn't be on the Switch Online. I feel like the licensing probably isn't that expensive for this one, so Nintendo, get on this. Then we've got Donkey Kong 64, which if you didn't know, this was actually my very first Nintendo 64 game, and I absolutely love it to this day. Now, some people don't like this game, and I don't know what's wrong with them there, but this is one of those Donkey Kong games that is so much fun, and it was a game that I loved playing as a kid, and I still love to play today. And I would love to play it on my Switch, but it's not there, and it's something that Nintendo needs to bring back because I don't see a reason why they couldn't bring this to the Switch Online. Then we've got Blast Corps, which is pretty much an absolutely destructive game where you basically go through the level and blow things up. Who wouldn't love to play this? I don't know, but it needs to be on the Switch. It's one of those games, this is one that you need to play if you've never played it before. It's pretty simple. You're trying to clear the stage, that way your kind of fire truck or whatever you want to call that thing, ambulance, can make its way through the whole level. But you get to blow stuff up. It's absolutely a blast. Obviously, Blast Corps, it's an amazing game and definitely needs to be on the Switch Online. And last but not least is Conker's Bad Fde. Now, yes, this game is rated M, which is probably another reason why it's not on the Switch, but it's another rare game as well, so it's probably double duty there. This is an amazing game, probably one of the best Nintendo 64 games, maybe in the top 5, maybe top 10, depending on who you are. It's a ton of fun, it's funny, it's comical, it's all over a game that should definitely be played, but I could see why Nintendo doesn't want this on the list. However, I want this on the list, and Nintendo needs to put it there. Come on now. Alright, so there you go. There are 11 games for the Nintendo 64 that need to be on the Switch Online. I'm not sure why it's not there already. These games are awesome. These are no-brainers. If you put these on there, people would absolutely love it. So, I don't know. There's a few games on the Switch Online here that I think are just okay, but I definitely think Nintendo could add more and definitely make the Nintendo 64 Online way better. But what do you think? Comment down below and let me know. But I'm going to get out of here and play some more games, so check out that video right there if you haven't already. But, I mean, we've got all 3 of the Mario Party games, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, like, some of these games should just be on there already. What is Nintendo thinking? I'm not sure, but I'm going to get out of here, so check that video out if you haven't already.